Hello, welcome to Books with Lexie. In this video, I'm going to be reading 3 books that my friends predicted I will give 5 stars. If you are new here, don't forget to subscribe. I post 3 videos a week and host reading sprints as well. So earlier this year, I was doing 5-star predictions for myself. I would go through some books, and I would pick like 2 a month that I thought I would give 5 stars. And it was interesting just to see like if I was ever correct or not. Not all the time, definitely. So I wanted to see if my friends who know my reading taste can kind of figure out what books I might give 5 stars. So this is the first in a video series. I plan on continuing to do this every once in a while, maybe every other month, because I don't have that many friends. But I do have the first 3 I'm going to talk to you about. I am going to be reading my best friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix. My friend Katrina from Katrina Brown thinks that I will give this one 5 stars. I will also be reading Death in Her Hands by Otessa Moshfegh. This is a pick from Amy Noel Reads. She did give me 3 options. One I didn't want to pick because I just wanted to read like mystery, thriller, horror stuff in October. And honestly, I picked this one because I could get the audiobook. But this is the one I'm most nervous about out of the 3 she gave me. So, sorry, Amy. And then the last book I will be reading, my friend Erin from Erin Megan picked Confessions by Kanai Minato. And I have heard nothing but good things. Just quickly, I have read from Grady Hendrix before. I read 2 books. One was 5 stars and one was 4 stars. And then I have never read from either of these authors, so it'll be my first time. All 3 of my friends will be linked in the description, so make sure you check out their channels if you are not already subscribed. They all post amazing content. They read a lot of similar books to what I read. I'm really excited to get to all 3 of these. I am nervous because, there's that added pressure, but I cannot wait. So I'm going to be starting with my best friend's Exorcism, so I will talk to you once I'm a little into this book. I am now a third into this. I'm 34% in. I just got, I guess there are no chapter numbers. One, I would like to say that, if I get a paperback, this is the size I want it to be. It's oversized. I really like it. It's easy to read. It's not I don't know. This is my ideal paperback size for anyone that really wanted that information. This is the book that Katrina thinks that I will give 5 stars. I have read 2 from Grady Hendrix before. I've given Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires 5 stars, and then Horror Store 4 stars. I also met Grady Hendrix recently, so maybe that will I don't know, because I thought he was great. He was very funny. So we are following 2 best friends. They've been best friends since 4th grade, and now they are high school sophomores, Abby and Gretchen. They go skinny dipping with some friends, and then the one friend, Gretchen, starts to act differently. Her mood has changed, weird things start to happen around her. So that's pretty much all that has happened so far. I am on page 123, and really not a lot has happened. I wouldn't say I'm loving this so far, which is kind of a bummer. I know that this isn't going to be super action-packed and full of horror, which is fine. I don't really expect that from Grady Hendrix anyway, but as of right now, I don't have any extreme feelings about this like I was kind of hoping that I would. It's a fun time. I'm really interested to see how this continues. I'm assuming there's going to be an exorcism. I don't know. I know this really focuses on the female friendships, which I feel like I will appreciate, but right now it's still not I don't know. I'm getting kind of nervous. I feel like people love this by this point already. I'm liking it. I'm liking the writing. I mean, there are outdated things in here. And that's kind of typical in horror anyway sometimes. But yeah, I don't have any real thoughts other than I kind of was expecting a little more from this at this point, but there's still plenty of the book to go. Look at me using a scrap of paper instead of a bookmark as usual. I plan on talking to you again before I finish to give you another update, and hopefully I'm liking it a lot more. I am 70% into my best friend's Exorcism. I'm not loving this. No, Nova is rubbing up against my tripod. So if they're shaking, that's why. Okay, here's the thing. I'm not disliking this at all, but I'm not obsessed with it at all. Like, it's feeling like it could be 4 stars, it could be 3 stars. I don't know. Like, I'm liking the writing and I'm liking what's happening, but I think I just had such high expectations for this and I'm not obsessed. Like, everybody seems to be obsessed with this book and I'm having a good time, but I I just like I just want more horror from it. And like I went in I went in knowing that it wasn't going to be a lot of horror and that it was just going to be more of a friendship story. But I'm not obsessed with the friendships in here either. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm feeling very conflicted. Like, there's nothing about it that I'm disliking, but I'm just not loving it. And I'm really, really sad about it because, like, this is a lot of people's favorite from Grady Hendrix. And I have read 2 of his books before. I've read no, that's what I'm reading now. I've read Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires, which I loved and gave 5 stars, and like early on knew that I was loving. And then I read Horror Store and gave that 4 stars. Um, just kind of really sad. And like this could end up being 4 stars, so like that's not a bad book at all. And like, why would I be so upset about it? But I think my expectations were too high and I was hyping it up too much. I've had so many people tell me that I'm gonna love this. Like, this is a 5-star prediction for me from Katrina. I, I don't know. We're really just watching Abby trying to like figure out what's wrong with her friend and trying to help her, which like great, but there's nothing really happening. Like, I'll talk to you when I'm done. I finished. It's 1 in the morning, so I will talk to you tomorrow, but this was not 5 stars. Hello. Have I finished my best friend's Exorcism? Yes. Have I talked to you yet? No. Am I gonna do that now? No. I'm scared. I don't want to talk about it yet, so we're moving on. I have started Amy's pick for me. So she gave me 3 options. One, I wasn't even going to choose because I wanted to read mystery, thriller, horror this month. So I was between Hex by Thomas Olde-Hevold and Death in Her Hands by Otessa Moshfegh. Clearly I picked this one, honestly, because this one is shorter and because I can get the audiobook for free. So I am now, I think, 40-ish% into this. I'm only 2 chapters in, so that's very long. This is a literary mystery. I don't know the last time I've loved a literary book. I usually find them very boring. I have DNF'd some this year, but guess what? I'm loving this. I do want to say that there is a lot of fat phobia in here, which, like, I'm not loving that part. But we are following a 72-year-old widow, and she is walking her dog in the morning and finds a note that says, "Her name was Magda. Nobody will ever know who killed her. It wasn't me. Here is her dead body." But there was no body or evidence that there was a dead body there at any point. So we are literally just in this woman's mind. Nothing is happening. She's not doing anything to, like, try to find this body. She's not calling anybody. Like, we're literally, she's just like going to the grocery store and going to the library. She does start to, like, look some things up, but, like, generally there's no plot. She's not doing anything. She's just thinking about things, and it's so funny. She, like, goes on these tangents. So, like, she'll start talking about one thing or thinking about one thing, and then she'll, like, end up somewhere completely different. And, like, she goes and she's talking about this, like, computer class that she took, and she goes to askjeeves.com to find the answers to anything. It's just, it's so funny. I don't know, her brain, like, I am having a really good time. The average rating on Goodreads right now is, I think, 3.26, which is extremely low. But, like, I love low rated books a lot of the times. So, like, somehow, even though nothing is happening, I'm having a great time. I don't know. I'm not mad about it, obviously, but, like, I'm shocked. So I finished Death in Her Hands, so I figured I should probably talk to you about this one first. I didn't hate this, but I thought I was going to be obsessed with this. I thought this was going to be a new favorite book. So even though I'm giving it 3.5 stars, I'm so disappointed. In my opinion, most of this is boring. I'm sorry. The last 15% or so is so good, but, like, I'm not somebody that can just rate a book based on just the very end. Not saying that that's what everybody that liked this book did, but I personally was bored throughout the whole thing until the end. I don't understand the love of this female friendship. It is extremely one-sided, which makes sense in the story, but I don't get the hype. I'm really sorry. I'm really, really sorry to everybody, to Mr. Grady Hendrix. I met him and I have this personalized, so I am gonna keep it. So it's a whole thing. I drove like 6.5-ish, I can't remember, hours to go visit Michelle and go to this book festival with her that Grady Hendrix was at. So he wrote, "Lexie, people who spend hours in their cars going to book festivals are 90% more likely to get possessed. What have you done?" Like, I wanted to love this. Anyway, dramatics aside, I did like the writing. This is set in the 80s, and there is a lot of things in here that people in the 80s are saying and thinking, and like it's not good stuff that's in here. I'm really, really, really disappointed. And not just because Katrina predicted this would be 5 stars, which like that's upsetting that I didn't love it, but I thought that this was gonna be like a new all-time favorite. It's fine. It's fine. I can be disappointed by books and it's okay. Ignore me crying. Anyway, I am gonna keep this. Obviously, like it is personalized to me, not just my name, but like if somebody got a book that said that in it, they'd be really confused, you know? This book has memories attached to it. Just so this is going on my shelves, but this is only 3.5 stars. Okay, so the next book that I picked to read for this video, if we're being honest, I did not have high hopes for this book. So sorry to Amy, but like I don't love literary fiction except for this one. I love this book. It is so funny. Look, this has a terrible rating. I left my bookmark in. This has a 3.26 on Goodreads as of yesterday when I looked. There's no plot in this. The entire book is this woman finding a note that I already told you what it says, and then she's just making things up in her head. Nothing happens. I mean, she like goes to the library and asks Jeeves on the internet how to solve a mystery, but there's no plot. There's none. But like for some reason, I loved this book. Like, do I want to give this 5 stars? Yeah, I think I do. I really loved the writing. Being in this lady's head, one was hilarious and also kind of sad, and like she just picked people's names. Like she met this woman in the bathroom and then she said Shorely, like Surely, and then decided to call this woman Shirley. She just made up names for everyone. She made up situations for everyone. Nothing in this book is real. I don't know what happened at the end, but I think I really loved this. Yeah, I was going to talk to you like 2/3 of the way into it, but I had nothing to say that I wasn't going to say at the end or had already said. So 5 stars. I'm kind of really shocked, but I'm so happy. So the last book that I'm going to be reading for this video, I saved for the end because I didn't think I was gonna like Death in Her Hands. So I was like, maybe I will end it on a good note with confessions. So this is short. I do not have the audiobook, but Google Play lets you have like an hour and a half of a sample for the audiobook, which is a decent portion of this because I think the book is 6.5 hours with the audio. Like, I mean, I could pay for it, but I'm just gonna start off with the audio while I do some things and then switch over. It is the first day of the 4th weekend of Holly Weekend, so I want to finish this tonight, hopefully, so that I can focus on my reading plans for that. But I'm really excited for this one. And also nervous because I thought I was going to love my best friend's Exorcism. And this video so far has proved to me that I know nothing about my reading taste. Hello, I have started reading Confessions by Kanai Minato. I'm reading this because it's one that Aaron thinks I will give 5 stars. I'm currently 36 to 8% in. I don't remember, but I just finished the first 2 chapters like These are long chapters, ma'am. That's only 2 chapters, but it's interesting. So the first perspective we're getting is from a teacher. She's the one in the synopsis. Lord of the Flies for the Modern World. This is a revenge thriller. The first chapter, we're following a teacher, and she does something to get revenge on some people for doing something. Anyway, I don't like it doesn't say that on the back. There's an accident on the grounds of the middle school she teaches. She's given up teaching and has put in her resignation, so she has one last lecture to deliver. She tells a story that upends everything her students ever thought they knew about 2 of their peers and sets in motion a maniacal plot for revenge. It is maniacal, yeah. Like, we find out what is going on in the first chapter. It's very interesting. And then the second chapter is from one of her past students. So I just finished that one. That one also has like this big thing in it. Like, so far it's super interesting. I'm not positive if I'm feeling 5 stars yet, but at least definitely 4. Like, it definitely could end up being 5 stars based on how it's going. I'll probably read 2 more chapters because I think there are 6 total. And I'll come back with more thoughts, but so far this is very interesting and it's really good. My only complaint, which is not a real complaint, it's just like I'm struggling to keep the characters straight because they do have Japanese names, which I'm not saying they should have changed. Like, they nothing, like, it's exactly fine how it is. I personally am just struggling a little bit, but I'm to the point where I think I mostly know who everybody is, like definitely the main characters, and the important people. I'll talk to you once I'm another 2 chapters in. I just finished the next 2 chapters in Confessions. I'm almost done. The last 2 chapters are the shortest. This is really interesting. So we are getting different perspectives. Like, each chapter so far has been different perspectives, and it's all about the same story. So it's the ways that different people are experiencing this same situation. So in the first 2, we got the mother slash teacher. The second story, we got the teacher's student. Then in the third one, we got the mother of one of the students who is accused of doing something. And then in the fourth one, we are getting one of those students' perspectives, the mother's son. Hopefully that makes sense without, like, because I don't want to give anything away. But it's been really interesting to see everything from the 4 different perspectives. They're such different perspectives. I'm just like very curious to see how this is going to end because I feel like there's not much else that I need to know. But all of the chapters have had like a big twist in them, so I am really curious to see how this is going to continue. I'm having a great time with this. Yeah, no complaints. I will talk to you again once I'm finished. You coming? Come on. Come on up. So sorry if you can hear Bowser panting. He's sitting it like right here. Here. You know? I'm not gonna make him move. So I have now finished my last book for this video. I finished Confessions, and I think I'm gonna give this one 5 stars as well. It is not one that, like, while reading it, I was as obsessed with as Death in Her Hands, but I think that the plot of this one is just so interesting. It was done so well. Like, I wanted to keep reading the whole time. And this is one that I will definitely recommend to people. Each chapter had its own little twist in it, It was really interesting. I really liked seeing how the different perspectives of the same like time period ended up coming together. Yeah, I just think that this was done really well, and I am going to be reading more from this author. I want to say more, but I really can't because I don't want to spoil things for you. Oh, the back literally says her peoples murdered her daughter, now she will have her revenge. So yeah, that is the thing in this book. It was just a lot of interesting things to think about. On top of it, Nova's rubbing up against my tripod. Is that what that's called? Um, so yeah, this very good. And I'm really glad I read this. I'm kind of sad it took me so long. Also, special shout out to Michelle for letting me borrow her library card so I could listen to this audiobook. So that is it for my first edition of reading books that my friends think I will give 5 stars. And it was really successful. I had a 5-star. I had another 5-star. And I had a 3.5, which still is not bad. I think if I would have given either of these less than 5 stars, I would not have been as disappointed as I am about this one. Just, I desperately wanted to love this. It's fine. It's fine. So I need to go buy myself a copy of this now because I want it for my shelves. I will read more from all 3 of these authors though. This was like, it was not bad at all. So I'm not gonna stop reading Grady Hendrix. Like, definitely most surprised by Death in Her Hands. Well, actually I'm surprised about this one, but like bad surprised and then good surprised. I think if I would have predicted what order I would like this in before I started, it would be My Best Friend's My Best Friend's Exorcism first, then Confessions, then Death in Her Hands. But first and last were switched. This is a 5-star for my experience. This is a 5-star for my experience and the plot, but more so the plot, you know? But I'm really happy that I read all of these. And I cannot wait to do this again. I think that I will have my second episode of this up in December. I will be reading books picked by Michelle from Michelle's Library, Monica from A Little Bit of Monica, and Kaylee from Kaylee's Books. I will be reading a range of books in that one. It's going to be an interesting time, but I'm really excited. I do think I'm going to try to do this every other month and then eventually like give people that did not give me 5-star books a second try, and like have people who have already given me 5-star books like see if they can do it again. No pressure to my friends, but I do have ways that I want to continue doing this series, and I'm really excited to be doing this. If you are a booktuber or not, and you have a book that you think that I would give 5 stars, let me know either in an Instagram message or just in comments here. I would very much love to know. If people that aren't booktubers have suggestions, maybe I'll do a reading subscribers 5-star predictions, which would be really fun to do with all of this as well. Let me know in the comments if things went how you thought they were gonna go for me, and also if you ever do 5-star predictions for yourself. Once again, thank you to Katrina, Amy, and Erin for taking the time to recommend these books to me. All 3 channels will be linked in the description. They are all great channels and great people, so I highly suggest you check out their content. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I hope to see you in my next one. Bye!